Everybody, welcome to the Love Movie Podcast. Me and my co-host, Toya Capri, the money-minded young lady. In the absence of Lady Z, the hottest goddess, she's handling her business, and we respect and understand how that works. And we want to thank all our fans. We want to thank everybody that's tuning in, and y'all give us that support. We really need it. We're getting over thousands, 2,000 views, and we're trying to make this thing grow. And we want to make sure that we give our Chicagoland people their props because there's a lot of good people in this community, and we want to make sure that that works for them. And we want to also thank our sponsors, GA Paving. George Angelillo, we appreciate you. And we got Trevor Black, the Chicken Wang King. That's his motto. So, and we also have Stacy Cafe in Bellwood, Illinois, and they're doing a good job. She got a nice menu daily, and then they have daily specials as well. But they do good. I was there last week and I had the oyster Rockefellers.
Oh, that sounds good. I love Rockefeller
It
oysters.
was good.
Yes.
And Violet Shy, these boys have a special every day. Last week, my son Sterling was here, and he went and made a visit to them and gave them, showed them some love, and they showed him some love back. So I guess they're trying to collaborate on some things and work some things out.
Great.
And it's a beautiful thing. And then we have the Blue Note. They're open for any kind of engagements that you want. All you got to do is give them a call, and we'll go from there. Now, one of the things we do have coming up too is the View. The View is doing a week long of activities because of their 1 year anniversary,
Okay.
which is this month. And one of the things that they're going to be featuring is uh, Chicago's own Jeff Guerin. He's a chef,
Oh,
and he been on Channel 9, Chicago's own, and they're going to do that. And then they have an event on, that's the 25th, 24th, and then the 25th, they have another event that they're doing, but they're doing something for the whole week. So it's going to be real nice, and we really appreciate your support. I'm looking at two more vendors, not vendors, but some sponsors coming in, and man, I think we finna hit a home run. But last week, man, we had Tisha Carter here, and Lord have mercy, you talk about just a joy to have around, just to be here. She was pleasant, she was authentic, she was true to what she was trying to do, and she got a great event coming up on the 27th of July in Countryside on Joliet Road, and we want everybody to support her. So look her up on Facebook page, Tisha Carter, Tiesha Carter. So we're gonna be doing a lot of things, and then we got the other events coming up. The
all alumni picnic
Okay.
Saturday. Totally looking forward to it.
Exactly.
It's going to be a blast as always. So this coming Saturday, what time does it start? I forget.
10
o'clock a.m. starts.
it starts when they get there. They go be
No,
But
some
if you're
folks going to be
setting
there up
well,
early.
actually, the tent setup, anything that you want to set up is from 6:30 a.m. And the last car has to be off of the lawn by 10 a.m.
Okay.
So that's why I said 10. But if you're setting up some things, I would say you want to get there
Early.
as early as 6 a.m.
Ooh.
okay.
Okay.
And then we have the Shigar,
Yes.
the Chicago Week of
Oh.
Cigars. This Stoney Gillespie is a big boy. Let me tell you why he's a big boy. He got people coming in from all over the world. I'm not talking about all over the country. He got people coming in from Colombia and a lot of other places.
I love
They
that.
kicked off last night at the Casas on First Avenue in Maywood, and they are doing a thing tomorrow night at what they call that Pinstripes in
Mhm.
Oak Brook,
Mm.
and they're gonna have the comedy show from 12 to 4 with that funny comedian guy,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys need to come and check him out. But that's 12 to 4 on Sunday on the 21st. So they got a lot of things going up. Go check out Chicago Week, Chicago Cigar,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll get all that information. It's he a class act. Stoney Gillespie is a class act, and we're gonna have some fun because I'm gonna be right there, and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, we
So
outside.
with that being said, I have a special guest tonight, and she's special to me. Her name is KiShana Hector, and her brother and my son were best of friends, and this, it was unfortunate, but that's how we
Mhm.
connected, and she's a special lady to me, and we're going to be talking a lot about healthcare in different areas or whatever the case might be. But before we do that, we had a question of the day,
Okay.
and one of the question of the day was, how many times should a person go to the doctor?
Well, I do have a clinical background, but I'm not a nurse or a physician. But I would say we should all go to the doctor annually or as needed. We should not ignore our bodies. We should not ignore our symptoms, especially if you know your body. If you know that your body does not react a certain way to certain things, then yes, you should be seen if something is going on. But absolutely annually. And when we reach a certain age, like with different tests that go on, such as a colonoscopy, they change the ages, so we need to be paying attention to those things. And if we're seen by our primary care physician and have that annual visit in those conversations, then we get that information. If you have family history of cancer, if you have family history of different ailments, diabetes, they tell you to get checked sooner.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen, we're gonna have a great show tonight because this is the information that we need to know.
Absolutely.
I'm a heart patient,
Mm-hmm.
and I go to the doctor when they schedule my visits, and I schedule visits way out in advance. But it's the medication sometimes that I take that I have questioned.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my doctor, listen, I'm not reacting to this right. This is not reacting to me right. And that's one of the things that I would tell people who say, hey, if your medicine is giving
Advocate for
you,
yourself.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Tell the doctors, hey, man, it's not responding right. And then, see, in my age, I sit and watch the TV commercials and say, you
Oh,
take a
Lord.
Jardiance and this
Oh,
is
God.
the
Right.
side effects of this. I'm like,
You might die, but
you know what I'm
you
saying?
should take it.
You gon' they gonna kill you, but you got to go some kind of way, right?
It's going to cure
So
this ailment, but it's going to cause ear infection, constant urination.
and
Yeah.
it's very important that we understand how this process works.
Mhm.
So by you being the regional manager, uh, just tell us about who you are and how you got into the game.
Absolutely. I first want to thank you so much, CB, for
That's
having me here.
that's what we do.
We won't even get into our background because you spoke great words, and I appreciate that. And I don't want to get emotional because we're not here for that right now.
We're not here for that.
My name is KiShana Hector. I am the local regional manager for community health and well-being with Loyola Medicine. And I came because we need to re-engage, reconnect, and rebrand with our communities, because we know that some of our community members are not fond of Loyola. They have their feelings, and we have to respect that. But we want to let everyone know that we are still here. We are still very embedded in the community, and we are here to serve our communities. And I just wanted to come and let everyone know I acquired this new role in January. It's new for me. So 6 months, almost 7 months. And when I tell you that I have had a lot of positions, but just this position has been the most rewarding for me, because of what we can do, because of what we need as a community. And I come from both sides. I'm a community member as well as an employee. So I just get so excited about the work that we do. You talked about the question of the day, about how often you should go to the doctor. You should listen to your body. You should also advocate for yourself. I have to admit, I'll play the role of the person who I've been fired by a few neurologists because I'm advocating for myself. And you have every right to do that. And we should be comfortable in doing that. So I don't deter anyone. I encourage you to speak up. If you feel like the medication's not working, if you feel like the physical therapy is not working, whatever the situation is, please feel free to speak up and advocate for yourself. So, just to tell you guys a little bit about community health and well being. So, what we do is we have, of course, we all know that we have members of the community who have different disparities, social disparities, financial disparities, and we're here to be that bridge. And with that, we have every year a community health needs assessment survey. And what that is gives every community member, anyone that lives in Chicago or suburban Cook County, it gives them of any age an opportunity to go down this survey. It's about 7 minutes, and you're able to speak to what's needed, what we could do better, what we need more of, what we could, if you have any ideas or anything that you feel like we need to do, bring all of that information, because you have, it's not just multiple choice, it also gives you an area to include your comments, concerns, or anything like that. So I'm going to share that information, some more about the community health needs assessment later. But if you have any questions,
708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. If you have any questions about healthcare for your parents, senior parents, if your kids, a disabled related person, or whatever the case might be, we want to know what you would like to ask Miss Ector, so she could give you her best answer and follow that through, because she's talking about Loyola. Some people don't like some people don't like Elmhurst. Some people don't like Presbyterian
Right.
St. Louis. Everybody got their
You won't be able to
preferences and
please
choices.
everybody.
That's why we drive different cars. That's why we buy different houses,
I like
because
that.
we got our preferences and our choices.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, the work that you do, what influenced you to get into that type of work?
Well, what influenced me to get into healthcare was when Kiki, my oldest daughter, she had to have a leg lengthening done. And we had it right at Loyola. Did I know anything about that? Not at all. But it was the way that we were treated, the way that we were handled from the back of the house to the front of the house, that ignited that fire in my belly for healthcare. And I have been there ever since. I started in surgery. I was in surgery almost 16 years. I started as a surgical assistant. I became a first assist, and it was that. And I felt like, well, what happens is the only gradual process from being a surgical assistant is to go into nursing. I had no desire to be a nurse, so I knew that I would be more effective in the back of the house. And so then I went back to school because I was a young single mom and I did not do the traditional school, the school progression. So I then went back to school to get my undergrad, and I've been there ever since. I've been planted and rooted ever
now,
since.
if somebody want to get into the medical field as you are,
Mhm.
what degree do you obtain? What do they have to go to school for?
Well, not all positions in the hospital require a degree. Actually, we're having a career fair on August 15th
There we go.
in Maywood, and we're talking about living wage positions because there are other positions outside of a doctor or nurse. You
In
asked me,
Maywood at the hospital,
it's
or
at the ATC. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with acronyms. I'll pull it up and I'll make sure I give it to us. But it
Okay.
is local. It is August 15th, and we're going to be there from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. And it's going to be all of the living wage positions. It's going to be any position that doesn't require a degree. But if you're asking about my position, it requires a bachelor's or higher. But that's not a problem because Loyola pays for you to go to school.
Ooh, y'all hear that?
And what they
Free
do is
education.
let me tell you about this free education. The colleges that we are attached to, they know how much Loyola is going to give you to go to school. So they match that. So all you have to do is register and maintain a B or above average. And they give you not only the course, but also any supplies that are needed. You bring your own pens, but any books, any additional things that you're going to need, they supply that. It goes according with that fee
Now
scale.
you go to Loyola University.
It's through Strayer.
Strayer was what is
Strayer University. It's
Okay.
on. You can go online or you can go in front of a classroom.
Okay.
But also Loyola University as well. You can go to Loyola.
Okay.
So,
Now, when you going through this, what are some of the challenges?
through school? For
When
school?
when you going through the process of becoming the regional manager for the program that you're in, what are some of your challenges as far as, implementing programs, talking to communities and stuff like that?
Not everyone is receptive. We are invited to all kinds of events. Like this Saturday, we'll be at the speaker Chris Welch's back to school health fair at Proviso
Saturday
West
the
High School.
20th.
Saturday the 20th from 10 to 2.
Right. I'll be there with Senator Kimberly Lightford. We got
Awesome.
a
I love
table, we
her.
got a tent. So we're going to be doing some positive things. But you said the challenges is like,
Not everyone is receptive. And also sometimes just because we're at home, meaning me being in the community, not everyone is, oh, there goes Shauna. Oh, she makes me, or whatever. Not everyone is positive. And that's with anything. They're probably saying the same thing about you. But hey, guess what? We're still going to do what we need to do for the community because we know who we are and what we were called to do.
See, the only time a person to be a hater if the other person cares.
Ah,
See,
I like it. I like
and
it.
I don't care. So
And I don't either.
That's how I move around. And
If
that's how
if
I
I
live
wouldn't
my life.
represent Loyola, I wouldn't say it was another 4-letter word. I wouldn't say I didn't care. I don't give.
Yeah, I
that
understand,
part.
but you represent your boss. So now, what are the different levels of programs that you have, like say from children to senior citizens?
Everything. You mentioned the seniors. So when we become seniors, we have to get Medicare. We want to get Medicare because we want to make sure that we are getting the best bang for our buck. We have what we call Medicare 101 seminars where quarterly you can attend we switch them up, either at McNeil or at Gottlieb. And we have an agency come in and they walk you step by step of what Medicare A to put with this insurance, Medicare Z to put with this. So therefore, you're not being overcharged or outside of your budget. The gentleman also, he gives his personal information, offers you to do a one-on-one because he's licensed. And you can have that conversation outside of that 1-hour seminar so that you get everything that you need in regards to your personal self. We also do Walk with the Doc, which is every fourth Wednesday of the month at Proxa Park during the non-inclement weather months. We have a conversation with the doctor and they're just having a casual walk because some people have white coat syndrome and they don't want to, they see the white coat and they get nervous. Like me, white coat come in, you would think my blood pressure check was an exam for me to get into an advanced system or something like that because it's always raised. But so with Walk with the Doc, you're able to have those conversations, and some people they're able to talk about things that they would normally even tell to their doctors. And then that person, that resident or that physician that's walking and talking with them, they're able to, give them that courage and have what to say when they go and speak to their own physicians.
Yeah, primary doctor.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, excuse me, I had what they call is ultrasound on my stomach.
Okay.
My doctor said you are of that age
Mhm.
where we need to find out, because I'm an ex-smoker,
Mhm.
I used to smoke cigarettes, and she said we need to, do the ultrasound to find out. I don't know if it's the artery or something that's in the stomach that they're trying to look. But anyway, I went last week and I had to go see a nurse practitioner to find out the results
Mhm.
of the exam, and they told me I got a little bit of this, but it's very minor. We're gonna watch it, we're gonna monitor it, whatever the case might be. And I thought that was good.
Mhm.
I thought that was good to at least get me in the area. But now I understand that when you get a certain age, there's certain tests
Yes.
that they're gonna give you, and I do my
Mhm.
colonoscopy every 3 years.
For men, there's for the prostate, they get your PSA numbers.
Yeah, well, I'm hopefully I'm good on that. But that's the mystery about health. Ain't
See how
that
he
something?
lays right on over
Right,
there.
we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, but that's the mystery about health, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's happening inside of your body.
You don't.
That's the mystery of all mysteries.
Absolutely.
And so, you just hope everything works out, and you pray to God and, clean me up, because I'm a heart patient too. I was at home and just trying to figure it out. What was wrong with me? I had to belch and everything like that. Didn't know that I was experiencing a heart-related situation.
Oh, I heard of it.
So
Cardiac.
I waited a few days and I felt better and this and that and the other, but I could have died because I didn't know. I was assuming But then when I felt better that Thursday, I kept my appointment and I went
Good
to
job.
the doctor, and these are the results.
Because in most cases, people of certain generations and age groups, what do? Something's going on. We're going to go lay down. I'm going to drink some water and I'm going to go lay down because we were raised, oh, mom, my head hurts. Drink some water and go lay down. So
Right.
that's embedded in us, but we can no longer just drink some. We need to drink water, but we're not
Right.
laying down. You need
Okay.
to call somebody.
Right.
And that's why we have your My Chart.
Yeah.
Because you can get right on there and you can speak directly to your doctor or your nurse practitioner or someone who's going to let you know you need to go now. You need to move expeditiously and get to a hospital, get some care.
Okay. So one of the questions that Money Minded Toya Capri had, the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the resources that we have right now, and from
Thank you.
back in the day up until now, and what is it that we can tell the people how they could look for it?
Well, modern technology has evolved so much, and it is such a plus. It's a blessing and a curse in a sense. But from then, we just had the telephone, or we had to wait for a doctor to call us back. Now we're able to, like I mentioned, we're able to message our physicians on My Chart, either at My Loyola, wherever you're being seen at. You should have that at your fingertips. When I tell you, I am like a senior when it comes to My Loyola. I'm on there all the time. I stub my toe. Dr. Google said, please stay off Dr. Google. But resources, we have something called the CRD, which is the Community Resource Directory. And you can scan this barcode or go on the Loyola website and put in a zip code, and it will give you resources for food, housing, health, transportation, education, jobs, financial assistance, legal, any type of thing that you could think of. You just put the zip code in there. And this is any zip code, not just 60153. You can put in 60619 or 60144, whatever. This is an excellent resource. When I tell you, I'm a person, I'm not just going to talk about something if I haven't tried it. That's why I don't say I don't like a food until I've tried it. I go on this community resource directory every single day, and I'm checking for different area codes and different things that we're offering, because I also want to be able to say, hey, look, you talking about this, go on this. I know this doctor, or this, they're having a book bag drive if you want to give, or they're having a health fair if your children need something. I want to be able to share the information like that. So this is an excellent resource to have. And also, my phone number and my big mouth, I'm ready to share all of the greatness that Loyola and Loyola Medicine has to offer.
708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. This is very valuable information, especially for people like me. I mean, I'm getting older. I'm on the other side of that number that, I don't know how long I'm gonna live. I don't believe in somebody giving us the universal decision to say it's 7 days in a week, or it's a year, or whatever. That's their conclusion. I don't know what God has in store for me. And so we still need to ask questions. Now, some people don't have the resources.
Correct.
They don't have the resources of a computer.
Mhm.
They don't have the resources of whatever. Who can they call? Where can they call to find out what's available for them?
So, are you saying overall, or
Like
for
if
Loyola?
I don't
Or for
whoever
Loyola
or
Medicine?
whatever. I mean, if they need to look into something, like you were saying earlier, it appears that Gottlieb, Oak Park, Elmhurst, a lot of these are under the same
Yes,
umbrella.
Gottlieb, Loyola, and McNeil. We're
McNeil.
all under Trinity Health, which is Loyola Medicine.
Okay.
So we're all, and that gives you more. Gottlieb's in Merrill's, Loyola's in Maywood, McNeil is in Berwyn. Excuse
What
me.
about
So
Oak
we're
Park? Are
able
you
to.
under Oak Park too?
We are not. Oak Park is Rush.
Okay.
Excuse me.
That's okay. Yeah, but that's beautiful. But they
So
need
they're
the resources.
I'm sorry. So if you don't, we have community health workers. And what the community health workers, they ultimately essentially become a part of your care team. So, and we're not the only facility or health system that has community health workers. So they are community health workers. They're able to follow you. We have them in our clinics. They're in the emergency departments. They are at all of our ancillary resource areas, and they're helping you with these things. If there's someone, if you're on a government assisted program and say you missed an appointment and they cut you off, we're able to get you back in connection with them. If you need a ride to that appointment, we're able to assist you in getting transportation. You just need to be able to get to us and get to whomever, whichever facility you decide to go to get that information, to get that connection. When you're in front of your physician, how is it that I can get this assistance, doctor? And I need help. I almost didn't make it to the doctor today, because that's one of our social disparities. Why didn't you make it to your appointment? I didn't have transportation. But with the community health and well-being area, you're able to say, I have to go to the doctor on this day. I missed the appointment last time because I didn't have a way to get there. We have the mobile peds unit, which goes to different businesses and they participate.
They used to be at Rock of Ages all the time. They
Mhm,
always had
mhm.
the mobile, the satellite
Yes,
location,
yes.
or whatever the case might
They're going to
be.
be at a couple of upcoming events coming up. And that's why, because we want to get as close to your door as we possibly can to make sure that you get the health care that you need.
And this is one of the things I want to say. Uh, don't be afraid to go to the doctor,
Please.
because at the end of the day, early detection helps.
Prevention is better than intervention.
Yeah, you
all day.
and that's what I've learned over the years. Because I don't mind going to the doctor. I go twice a year, get a checkup, blood work. I don't let her. Uh, I try to avoid getting the finger in there. Like, I try to avoid that.
You
But at the end of
wash
the
it
day,
so you could get that.
yeah. But at the end of the day, it's all necessary.
It is.
I mean,
It absolutely is.
if they're generating new healthcare and new procedures and stuff like that, adhere to it. Make sure that you understand how the process works, and then it's one of the things that I think a lot of people, "Man, I don't want to go to the doctor," especially men.
Yes.
What would you tell the men right now? How do you approach the men about going to the doctor?
Well, Shauna would say, get your butt off your shoulders and get to doing what you need to do. KiShana's going to say, don't hesitate. Get your butt in the doctor like you need to do. Because like you said, and we need to understand as family members, when you are ill, it just doesn't affect you. It affects the people who are around you, who are going to have to take care of you. And it's not fair for any of us or for you, because you prolonged and you procrastinated. And you don't want to be sick. Who wants to be sick?
Nobody.
So go to the doctor. My deductible was usually covered by the end of January, because I am always at the doctor. Even before this, I'm going. I just need to. I don't want to be sick. I don't want people having to take care of me or anything like that. I want to just make sure that I'm able to take care of, because my love language is to take care. And if I'm down, I can't do anything for anybody else.
Yeah,
And you got to remember that, men, if you're down, you can't take care. You can't provide. You can't be the cover before, your pastor's the covering and the church is the covering. You are the head of that household. You are who we look to. And if you're sick, then what we going to do?
Yeah. You better get yourself together. That's what you better
Shake your
do.
sillies off and
Yeah,
get there.
and that's how it goes. So now we talked about senior citizens, and we
Mhm.
talked about the resources that they have, or some of the resources that they don't have. But I would like to say is that keep your eyes open, and the people in your community
Yes.
should be providing different things. Pay attention to your body. Pay
Mhm.
attention to yourself. See how it goes for you. And with that, we talked about the senior citizens care. Uh, what about mental illness? How do you deal with the mental illness part?
Okay, we're going to go to mental illness, but I need to remember to talk about see, test, and treat, where we're talking about taking care of yourself. See, test, and treat. So it's cancer screenings. It's going to be Saturday, August 17th at the Loyola Outpatient Center. There is a phone number, 708-216-PATH, which is 708-216-7284. And it's about the women, cervical cancer, mammograms. They're giving all of these tests for free.
August 17th now.
August 17th
What
at
time?
Loyola Outpatient Center. It's going to be at 10 a.m. 10
And
a.m.
until
till 1.
Okay.
But we want to make sure it's cervical cancer screening for ages 30 to 64, mammogram screenings for ages 40 to 64, and you will have your results within 3 to 5 days.
Oh, that's all right.
So you want to get that. I'm leaving all of these things with you if you want to, guys want to resource, refer back to it when I'm not here. This is all a packet for you. See, test, and treat. Get on the phone, call this phone number so you can get added to this, and make sure you mention see, test, and treat,
Okay.
because that's that whole prevention. But back to mental health. Mental health is real. Mental health is a thing. I think
We all struggle with it.
everybody.
Absolutely.
And see what happens, and I'm going to I like to speak from my own standpoint, and that includes me being a Black woman. Culturally, Black people, therapy was taboo. Nobody needs therapy. What you talking about? We're going to talk about this, or we're going to sweep it under the rug. But what happens when you start tripping over the rug that you've swept everything under? So we need to speak to someone, and we have different resources. We have River's Edge. We have Loyola has a mental health area, and you just need to make sure that you recognize what mental health looks like, what those symptoms are, and you need to reach out. The first step is admitting it, like anything else. The first step is admitting it.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because when I went through my divorce, I was looking for direction
Mm-hmm.
because this is new to me.
Right.
And so I went to a couple of seminars and a couple of groups and whatever the case might be. And listen, people go through some changes.
They do.
And some people don't figure it out. And one lady was saying, well, he got a girlfriend and she's younger than me, and how do I compete with her? And well, that's your ex-husband. You're going through a divorce and whatever, but they were still talking about
Reconciliation.
you see what I'm saying? And in the divorce process, knowing that her husband had another woman. And if that's not mental health
Right.
crisis, I don't know what is. And, it was like with my police background, I went in there I was almost a counselor. Like, no, baby, it don't work like that.
Right.
So, it's different. And then I understood that I needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to hear somebody else talk.
Mm-hmm.
I need to hear what they were talking about in order to understand where I was in this process. So mental health is very important.
It is.
What programs do you guys have, or what are you offering to the people that might think that they need to talk or need a counseling sessions?
You need to get in front of your primary because they have to give you a referral. But you have to make those initial steps. Just remember that everything that you're talking about to your physician is private. We all sign HIPAA clauses and we can't speak about that. And that's the same thing with your therapist. Like, I personally feel like I need post-COVID therapy because I was still in Reno. I was by myself. And I believe that was the loneliest I ever felt in my life. But have I done that? I have to be fully transparent and say no. But I know that I need to, and that I'm going to do that now that I've admitted this in front of all of your listeners and everything like that. I can't be out here talking the talk and not walking the walk. But it's very important. What I appreciate about my VP, she's very, very stringent on work-life balance. So if making sure you work from home on a certain day, whatever, we need to understand what your issue is. When I say we, you as an individual, understand what it is that you're struggling with, and have enough courage to go to someone so that you can be seen and so that you can talk. My concern is I'm looking for someone to talk to that looks like me. So I have not found a lot. I'm not saying I have not ever experienced therapy, but I struggled because some of those therapists didn't look like me and they didn't understand. And I know they couldn't understand. So I thank them for their time, and I'm looking for someone else.
And that was one of my problems too, because they didn't look like me and they didn't act like me. And they didn't talk like me, and they didn't live like I did, and they didn't grow up the way I grew up. So it was
That's important.
And it's very important because at the end of the day, I'm looking at somebody that lives in a whole different world, and
Mm-hmm.
the system is on your side.
Mm-hmm.
The system is not on my side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at different stuff.
So it's okay to shop around. Don't be, and that's what
Absolutely.
another issue that I have is I don't date new providers well. So when I get in front of the provider that I feel is for me, I'm going to stick with that person, and I'm going to throw a fit if you decide to go to a different health system, because I've become emotionally naked in front of you, and I don't do that well because I don't trust people. But I've done that, and I want to stick with. So actually, where are you going? Because I might have to see if my insurance goes over there. So don't be afraid to shop around. Don't be afraid to seek help. Don't be afraid to go to therapy. Don't be afraid to go to the doctor. We want to stay healthy. We want to stay healthy so we can continue having these conversations, having these memories, and all the good things.
And like I say, early detection. Some things you just don't have no control over.
Absolutely not.
It don't work like that. But at the end of the day, control what you can, and if you can't control it, give it to the one that's in control.
That's right.
So that's the only thing that we could do. So what you got on the agenda, Miss Toya Capri?
No, I think a lot of what you were saying is spot on. I think that your health is just like how you maintenance your car. You know, you go for oil changes, you go for service checks, you go for tune-ups. So it's anything that you care about and value, you're going to make sure that you take steps in order to protect it. It's an asset of yours. And to your point earlier, if you're not well, then how can you be of service to anybody else? And I think we take for granted how important and critical health is. And a lot of people that, and I'm speaking from experience with even my own health, and struggling with blood pressure management. And I'm just naive in a sense where I developed preeclampsia when I was carrying my son. And basically, based on historically family history, I was pretty much told that this is something you're probably going to be stuck with. So I'm doing all of what I believe is preventative things, you know, exercising, dietary, making sure I'm good with my diet. And so I had gotten to a point where it was stable. And so I'm like, I'm not taking the medicine anymore. And so I reached a point where I'm listening to my body and I'm like, something is not right. I went to the emergency room and my blood pressure was basically to the point where I almost had a stroke.
Wow.
And so I had to literally just take a step back and be consistent and diligent with making sure that if the medication is something that's going to keep me here and keep me healthy and keep me stabilized, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to couple that with all of the other preventative things that I mentioned. But that's just an example of how you are actually in control of all of that, you know, and if you aren't taking the steps that you need to in order to help you, then I mean, that's literally half the battle. So I encourage anybody, not just if it's specific to blood pressure, any health ailment that you know of, stay on top of it. Stay on top of it, because again, that's the part of the process that you can control. So you should do so.
Take your medication as prescribed and not as needed.
Exactly.
I feel good today, I'm not going to take it today. No, take it as prescribed. Now, don't negate from the fact that we do have different like holistic things. You know what you can, you don't want to be on this medication for a long time. So you're going to take it till you get to a stable area, and then it's okay for you to interview other things that's going to be
I do it at the same time
with you. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
At the same time.
There's nothing
my
wrong
supplements,
with that.
and matter of fact, my doctor told me, he said, while we going through this process, leave your supplements alone. And then when we finish this process, then you can go back into it. I was having eye surgery.
Okay.
So I guess it's something in the supplements that may cause a different reaction or whatever to it. So, but yeah, I'm the key words that you were saying, take it as prescribed. Because if I take it today and not tomorrow, or if I take it every other day and they tell me to take 2 today, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm basically just
you're gambling.
Working against yourself.
You're gambling.
I'm not
and
not
I can say that directly because I took it as I felt like, okay, I feel good today, or I didn't feel good. maybe I should take the medicine. And that's not a choice when you're at a certain point.
Right.
Right.
And your body is working that much harder as far as keeping things flowing.
Yep.
So
Know your ministry. I'm not a
Yeah.
physician, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell
Well,
me to take it as I feel like.
when I went to the doctor last week to get the results of my exam, she took my blood pressure and it was elevated.
Mhm.
And she said, just relax for a minute.
See that white coat?
white coat syndrome.
You come in here and you getting the results of something that you don't even know
Right.
about.
Mhm.
So you might be a little. So she took my blood pressure again,
Mhm.
and
It was
it,
its
it
normal
calmed
level.
down. It calmed down a little bit. Then she switched arms, and after she took it the third time, she said your blood pressure is normal. So you got excited about coming in here and whatever the case might be. So I'm paying attention to everything, and that's what I want everybody else to do. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to things that don't work. I notice getting more rest helps me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm at the crib, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing, or whatever the case might be, that helps me. But at the end of the day, we talked about senior care and all of the programs that they have. We talked about mental illness. What about child care? Because I donate to the Shriners,
Mhm.
and what's the other one? I can't think of it.
St. Jude's.
St. Jude's. I give them money because kids don't have control over their world
They don't.
like adults do. And when a kid is young and they're going through these processes and stuff like that, that's tough. So whatever they're gonna do to if they find a cure or whatever, my money, I ain't donating a whole lot of money, but
But you
I
got your
do
$19
donate.
t-shirt.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't get the t-shirt.
Oh,
They
so
never
you
sent me
spent
the t-shirt,
$10?
and I never did get the rug, the blanket, the quilt. But anyway, they still got my
You
money.
sound bad.
But at the end of the day, so
Loyola Medicine has the Ronald McDonald House.
yeah,
We have the Ronald McDonald House, and we participated with that when Kiki had her surgery. We were able to stay in the Ronald McDonald House because there are times when you don't want to leave your kid, but you want to get at least some rest. So if you and dad, if you're fortunate enough to have both parents, if you and dad need to tag team off, we were able to go there, shower, take a bath, take a shower, what have you. But the Ronald McDonald House, we do have the Ronald McDonald Hospital, Children's Hospital. So all of those things are afforded to community members if your child or if your family should need to participate with that.
and how does the McDonald house work? That means that
With the diagnosis, and if when you're talking, like when you're speaking with your physicians, they know your financial situation, whether it is a situation when you're talking to them, and they're able to give you all of that information if your child is a patient there and you guys need to participate, your family needs to participate.
okay, it's very important, man. Listen, children are so innocent because they
Yes.
don't when they develop something in a parent, that got to be tough.
They can't communicate the
Yeah,
way that.
and-
So that's another reason why you need to make sure that you know your body and know your children, because kids your child can't say that my heart skipped a beat or it fluttered or something like that, or there's a piercing pain in my side. You need to make sure that you're aware of your child and what their mannerisms is and keeping up with their physician's visits.
and what we think and call is normal.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What we think and call is normal might not be normal.
It's not. These kids are different. Like, we didn't have all those allergies. I think these kids now, they didn't eat enough dirt.
Infamil.
We ate dirt. We licked that.
Similac.
If you need, you licked it and you put it on there, you're good.
Oh, for
But
sure.
now they're allergic to everything. So yes.
Now you've given us a lot of information, and we want to ask, what do you think the communities need to do to better their information about healthcare? Period.
Be in tune, be involved, ask questions. I think we were talking about this in a meeting. The word why has become such a word to put people on the defense, asking questions, having fear of someone thinking that something is wrong with you for asking said question. No, please. I am the questions person. I'm going to ask you questions. They tell me all the time, I didn't interview them like you did. So don't ask me what they said. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to advocate for your health. Don't be afraid to understand and ask more questions. There's nothing wrong. If they say you need to come here every 2 weeks, why? And then this is why do I need to do that? I want to understand why is not a word that means somebody got to put their dukes up and be on the defense. I'm asking why because I want to know. The community needs to be more engaged. We're reaching out right now. We're trying to re-engage and get everyone involved and understand all of the resources and all of the greatness that Loyola Medicine has to offer. And you've heard this, and I'm sure word of mouth will travel. If you have any questions when you get to the doctor, or you could dial 708-216-9000, which is to Loyola Medicine, and they ask any question that you need, and they'll get you in contact with who you need to see.
Say that again. 216
708-216-9000.
And that's very important. Let me tell you why. Because I have to call and make my appointments, and they will say you want to go to this hospital or that hospital. They'll direct you where do you live, how close, whatever the case might be. But what I just want to say, this is very important. Very important. Healthcare is very, very important for the entire family.
Yes, sir. It
So
is.
if you're married and you got children, make sure that they're all right. Make sure that they're being taken care of. Make sure that they're going to the dentist. They're going to the doctor. They're getting those checkups and stuff like that. Some of them be nervous. Some of them be scared. And, but you want to try to reassure them that things are going to be all right. We just, checking out. But at the end of the day,
And also pay attention to these laws and the different policies that are being changed, because in some type of way it's going to touch you, your family, or someone that you know. It's not all about the big election all the time. We have to pay attention to those smaller ones too, because that's when things are really changed. So just make sure we're paying attention to everything. We got to have what they say when you're on the street, you got to have your head on the swivel.
On the swivel.
Pay attention to everything.
That's how it works. But see, in another thing, insurance. Tell us about the struggles, the challenges of having insurance.
Let me get my politically correct face on. So know your insurance. Just know what's covered by your insurance. Know your deductible. Know your co-pays. Make sure that you are aware of all of those things, because when you go to the doctor, they're not the member of that insurance. You are. So you want to make sure that you're getting what you're supposed to and being charged or not charged. Know your insurance. Know what you can get. Know what Medicare goes with what insurance. Know which part of Medicare goes with what insurance. Know what's in network and what's out of network. And if you have questions, that's why they have the reverse 800 number on the back of that card. Call that insurance so that you can ask those questions. Because when you get to the doctor, we're trying to get reimbursement for you visiting. So you want to make sure you know everything that you should know about your insurance, and still don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, and listen, I'm at home and these Medicare and commercials come on, and you looking at it and they say, well, you could get an extra $1,000 towards groceries or whatever. Pay attention to that. And if you have a good program in front of you, I got Aetna Medicare by the state of Illinois. They That's look awesome. Out for me. They take care of me. I've had 2 or 3 other people. I told them what I had. They said, don't mess with that. Don't mess with that, because if you mess with that, you could lose everything that you have. So be careful, ladies and gentlemen, in that senior phase. And if you got that good insurance package, I tell you what's funny. I went to try to get Medicaid. They kicked me out the office. He's like, quickly, get out of here. You can't get me. Look at what you got. You don't do that. Right. And I was like, okay, now I sit down and talk to them, and they made me understand this is why. And they said, be careful of the commercials, because the commercials will draw you in. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Stop filling out this mess on social media or when they offering these different programs and they say, well, you can get this, and then you fill out that survey, you're going to get 1 million calls for 1 million people about something that's totally unrelated to what you're doing. So yeah, stop that.
And family, if you have seniors in your life,
leave us with that.
Please. Oh, this is all yours.
No, I'm talking about
all of it. It's like, make sure that you're helping your seniors. Make sure that they're aware of if someone's sending a text message or calling them saying your social security number is about to be canceled. Poppycock. Make sure that you're staying on top of them with their doctor's appointments. Make sure they understand that mom or dad or grandma or grandpa don't just be making decisions without speaking to the family first, because let them know what the adverse effects are. Just make sure we're not leaving our seniors alone, in a sense, in a house by themselves, trying to navigate through insurance or doctors and physicians appointments by themselves. They're here. They took care of us. We need to take care of them.
Yeah, and that's very important, because I understand, and I got a program through Silver Sneaker. Are you familiar with?
Yes, we do Silver Sneakers at McNeil.
Exactly. So I got free transportation back and forth to the doctors for certain things, and I have what they call a membership to LA Fitness, free of charge. And because I looked into it, I mean, when they offered it to me, I made the phone calls, and I was trying to do the best that I can do. But KiShana, man, listen, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me share.
This is powerful, and we'll bring you back, because healthcare is a lifestyle. It's not just a monthly or daily thing. It's a lifestyle, and you've provided a lot of information to us. Tell the people how they can get in contact with you, and if they got any questions or anything.
If you have any questions about anything that we've talked about, you can call 708-216-9000 to Loyola Medicine, or you can call me in office at 708-538-4329. Again, my name is KiShana, and I am the local regional manager for Loyola Medicine, Community Health and Wellbeing.
Bless you. Now, and you also on the committee for the
cookout.
Give them some last minute rules, and
so a shameless plug about the PEHS Proviso East Home of the Pirates annual cookout. Now I will say I was at work and I couldn't get to the last meeting on Tuesday, but let's just say not much has changed. Tiffany and the committee, they gave a great live presentation. We want to make sure that any specialty items that you have, register them so that they're on the permit. We want to make sure that you know the hours of setup, because at 10 a.m. you must have your vehicles removed and have your tents put up.
And then they got parking and transportation. Where do they?
Yes, so we have several. I'm proud to say Loyola Medicine donated 3 of the parking lots, and parking is for free. And so you'll be able to park. We do have shuttles set up at some of the surrounding local schools, and they gave that information on there. I know some of that information has changed, but the shuttles, they will be running accordingly, and they will get you to and from. But remember, the cookout is finite at 6 p.m. So you want to make sure you're keeping up. If you parked at a satellite location, you want to make sure that you're done so that you can get on that shuttle to get you back to your car.
That's beautiful. Well, hey, man, listen, we got a big weekend coming up.
Yes.
We got a lot of things going on, and we appreciate you coming out and
thank you guys. I appreciate you having me.
Us. But as we always say before we close out, as we always tell our people, treat people the way you want to be treated, and never give up, and never give up on your health. Because I can tell you a story where my friend, somebody called me and said that he was dead, and I mentioned it, and then somebody called me back and said that he coded, but he's alive. And I got a chance to talk to him the other day. We grew up as little kids down in Texas.
Praise
and
God.
Tony Walker, my man, keep it going, man. I'm gonna see you on the 17th when I get down there to Texas. But that's the information we get, and we don't understand it. So I'm blessed and I'm happy. But as I said, treat people the way you want to be treated and never give up. He never gave up.
Thank you guys.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right.
Just got dressed.